Well, we are counting down to 4 p.m. when the Election Commission is expected to announce the dates for the Bihar Assembly elections. This follows a few days of high-level meetings in Patna between the Election Commission and representatives of the 12 recognized political parties, which are 6 national and 6 regional. Now, across party lines, there seems to be one common demand: conduct the polls right after the Chhath festival and finish them in as few phases as possible to boost voter participation. But alongside the consensus, there's a growing political uproar over Bihar's electoral rolls, as we have been consistently covering through the sessions of Parliament too. The opposition alleging discrepancies in the special intensive revision exercise. The RJD and left parties have questioned why over 3.6 lakh voter names were deleted and demanded transparency on the 21.5 lakh additions that were made to the final list. The Election Commission, for its part, has defended its process, urging all parties to ensure proper booth-level representation and also promising a fair and transparent poll. But this election isn't just about phases and dates, it's about credibility, access, and the political message each side is crafting before a deeply watched Bihar poll. Let's go across first to Aishwarya for the latest on what to expect from that 4 p.m. announcement and the political flashpoints already taking shape. Aishwarya, what can we expect at 4 p.m.? Take us through what we've been picking up so far.
Well, in the past few days, massive deliberations took place in the capital city of Bihar, Patna, where the Election Commission officials, along with the Chief Election Commissioners, held meetings via video conferencing, and it was, after much deliberation, consultations with 12 political parties, the state recognized political parties as well. The major demand was that the election should be held only after Chhath Puja, which is one of the most important festival for the state of Bihar, and in how the sources have stated that that demand has been agreed. So the elections perhaps would be only after 6 days of Diwali, after Chhath Puja would be concluded. But important details also came out in the press conference that the CEC Gyanesh Kumar had revealed that when the Bihar Assembly term will be completing on 22nd of November. Before that, the elections will be concluded, and that assurance has been given by the Chief Election Commissioner. There are 17 new initiatives that the Election Commission is going to take. It was on 24th of June 2025 when the SIR process began, and it completed within the time frame that was decided by the Election Commission. There were training for the first time that was given to the booth level officers as well. The political parties had been urged to give massive representation as far as booth level officers are concerned, that they want their representatives to take part. 100% webcasting is something that has been assured by the Election Commission. This will be for the very first time in the state of Bihar, and that will be followed as well gradually in the upcoming states where elections will be held. It has also been stated by the Election Commission that not more than 1,200 voters will be allowed for one booth to be so that they can cast their vote by distributing in different booths as well. So the number of booths might increase as far as the elections are concerned. But major political parties, specifically the opposition political parties, earlier demanded that there should be fewer phases, not unlike the previous elections where 3 phases elections were done. Smaller phases should be picked up by the Election Commission so that as early as possible the entire election process can complete. We asked that rebuttal from the Bharatiya Janata Party and the JDU as well, that the demand that has been raised by the opposition parties, including the RJD Congress, that 2 or a single phase election should be done this time in Bihar. They categorically stated that it is not their part to response. It should be Election Commission, after looking at several logistical arrangements in the state of Bihar, and also different kind of arrangements that has to be done as far as security is concerned. The booths that are likely to be increased this time in Bihar. So after looking all of that, it is Election Commission which has to decide that what sort of elections they want. They are well prepared. Every political party is very confident that they are going to win this, be it the India bloc or the NDA, but it is, the SIR, issue that was raised up by the opposition, where we have seen Vote Adhikar Yatra being led by Rahul Gandhi, a separate, Yatra being organized by Tejasvi Yadav of the RJD as well, where they say that there have been a massive deletion of voters in several, districts of Bihar. That is one of the major issue that the political parties want to take down to the voters, that this is and the entire campaign around vote chori that was run by the opposition, to which the Election Commission countered with every fact that they want massive transparency, and this is how they want to go ahead in these elections, so that a roadmap can be prepared for different elections as well. These are going to be a major issues as far as Bihar is concerned. Every political party is very confident that they are going to win. At 4 p.m. is all that important press conference where the dates will be announced, and all eyes would be on that.
Aishwarya, as always, thanks so much for joining us with the lowdown. Well, from Delhi, let's get you the latest from Patna. Ankit Tyagi is live with us from the state capital, where political activity is peaking ahead of this announcement at 4 p.m. Ankit, you've been tracking reactions from party offices. Take us through the mood. What's it like on the ground ahead of this 4 p.m. announcement?
The announcement at 4 p.m. will be made in the national capital, but the buzz here is in Patna. This is where the activity is going to take place. Since yesterday, when the Election Commission has gone back, a lot of chatter about the dates and people, planning around that. Because remember, a state like Bihar, which is so politically active, there are people, those who talk politics, understand politics, unlike many other states. It's almost penetrated to the ground. The city and the state which has seen many big, in fact, political movements all across in the history as well. There is a lot of anticipation in the air. But having said all that, last time, the elections of Bihar, when they took place, it was 28th October when the first phase of polling took place, and then it was 2 more phases. The participation was about 60%. The hope of the Election Commission and the political parties would be to increase that, at least take it to 70%, and that is why they are hoping that right after Diwali and Chhath, that is 21st and 28th, when the Chhath happens, one of the biggest festivals here in this part of the country. After that, a lot of migrant workers, on an average about 2.5 crore migrant workers, those who are staying outside the state of Bihar. So out of the 7.42 crore voters which have been the list which have been prepared by the Election Commission after SIR, they would be hoping that the migrant workers would be back for the Diwali and the Chhath Puja and will stay on for the election. So the expectation is that, today is 6th of October when the elections are announced, and about 28 days to a month is the time when it would be given for the political parties for canvassing. That's the usual. So you are expecting the elections to take place in the first week of November. And the entire process to be completed hopefully before 14th and 15th of November. 22nd is the time when the new government has to come in place. That's what the Election Commission has announced. So all expectations are on that first very important week of November. Around 4th to 8th of November is the expectation of the 2 phases in which the election is going to take place. As far as the political parties are concerned, it has been a very important, hectic time. Yes, for the last 2 days, the seat sharing formula between the NDA and the Mahagathbandhan, both the camps have been talking. Yesterday till late night, the Mahagathbandhan was, in fact, the MLAs the constituents were talking to each other. Tejasvi Yadav led that meeting. Congress, CPIM, VIP, all those parties were there. And all of them now trying to finalize the seats before the dates are announced. So once the dates are announced, then they would be able to come up with their formula, and the names of the candidates will then be announced. Same is happening in the ND.
I apologize for interrupting you. We have a live reaction coming in. Let's just listen in.
निश्चित रूप से पटना वासियों के लिए बहुत बड़ा उपहार और खुशहाली का दिन है आज।
एक तरफ विकास हो रहा है, एक तरफ मेट्रो चल रहा है, दूसरी तरफ कह रहा है कि पावर चेंज होगा। तो तेजस्वी यादव कह रहे हैं कि इस बार पावर चेंज होगा, दलित और जो अति पिछड़ा है वो इस बार सरकार बदलना
क्यों?
चाह रहे हैं।
क्यों? क्या जात पात पर सरकार बनेगी? क्या अफवाह फैला करके सरकार बनेगी? क्या इनके पास अब कोई विकास का मुद्दा नहीं रहा? विपक्ष के पास क्या अब कोई विकास का मुद्दा नहीं है? जनता का जो इच्छा है, जनता का जो चाह है, जो मतदाता को चाहिए, वो एनडीए सरकार ने सब कुछ किया है। तो विपक्ष अब जो है विकास पर, मूलभूत सुविधा पर क्या वोट नहीं चाहती है? आखिर जनता सरकार क्यों चुनती है? एक बार सवाल कीजिए आप लोग भी।
From the BJP Bihar unit chief there, as the Bihar poll dates are expected to be announced at 4 p.m. Vasudha Venugopal has been tracking all the finer developments and all that's unfolding behind the scenes. Vasudha, it seems that the BJP and JDU seem to want voting soon after Chhath Puja. Ankit Tyagi has taken us through the reasoning there and that the opposition parties are in agreement. But we are seeing a rare moment of agreement among parties asking for fewer poll phases. Take us through the latest developments, and is this being read as a concern over poll fatigue, or is it something more strategic?
Well, Parmeshwar, this is just days after the ECI team made that very special visit to Bihar, and this is part of protocol. ECI team always visits a state to understand what the political situation is and how prepared it is for an election, and that's what happened. And now ECI team has announced that around 4 o'clock, the dates of Bihar polls are going to be announced, and there was this specific concern that the political parties had raised. This time, it's a unique coincidence that both Dussehra and Diwali and Chhath Puja, everything falls in October. So basically, the political parties wanted an assurance from the ECI that the elections will be held only after October 20th. October 20th is when the Diwali is, and October 20 till 28th is when the Chhath Puja takes place, and that is when a huge migrant population of Bihar working outside the state also comes back to the state. And it's important because the ECI also wants a large number of people to vote. It wants the voting percentages to go up. And in the last few years, we've also seen that there is a sense of gap between the number of women voters and the number of male voters. And now the number of women voters has been steadily increasing while a lot of migrants are not being able to vote. And that's something that the ECI does not want this time. It wants everybody to vote. And politically, last time in 2020, it's important to know that it was the first COVID election, which is why the campaigning was quite limited and it was done under COVID protocol. This time it's going to be it's a full-fledged campaign. There's a lot of digital tools. There are a lot of digital tools that are being employed, and also it is a high-tech election. And more importantly, it's going to be a referendum on Nitish Kumar's governance. He's been the chief minister of the state since 2005. There's an X-factor like Prashant Kishore and Jan Swaraj Party also this time around. And it'll be interesting to see if RJD and the Congress and the Mahagathbandhan, which also has the Vikashsheel Insan Party this time of Mukesh Saini, that was part of NDA earlier, if they're able to make that kind of difference and if they're able to go beyond that 30% vote share that they've always dominated, and if they're able to get those winning numbers. Last time, remember, there were 15 numbers, fewer than the NDA. The NDA got about 125 seats, and it was the BJP that had performed better than the JDU last time. Now, the seat sharing arrangements are still being worked out. There are negotiations going on, and we can get clarity on that before October 10th is what we understand. But more so, it's a very important election also for the BJP, because while the NDA got about BJP got about 240 seats in 2024 Lok Sabha elections, it has seen successive election successes in states such as Haryana and Maharashtra. So Bihar is going to be very critical for both sides on that front as well.
Vasudha, as always, thanks so much for delving into the lowdown. But if we could just delve a little deeper to look at what's at stake politically in these elections, not just for Nitish Kumar or Tejashwi Yadav, but for national equations as well.
Well, Bihar is where, the political, a lot of political revolutions have begun. We saw, JP Andolan start in Bihar. So clearly, critically, Bihar has been very important for the state, for the country's politics. It's also one of those large states with 80 Lok Sabha seats and, 243 Vidhan Sabha seats. So clearly, it's one of those larger states. And this is also one of those states where you see, elections happening at multiple phases. So there there was a three-phase election that was put in place last time, October 28th, November 3rd, and November 7th. The results were declared on the 10th of November. And, this time the parties have asked for fewer number of phases. So we'll have to wait and see if the ECI actually, agrees to that demand of theirs. And politically, this is going to be important because, like I said, it's a referendum on Nitish Kumar, but there are also questions with regard to his own mental efficacy. So what happens after the results get announced? Will Tejasvi Yadav be able to finally take that RJD beyond that MY vote and get winning margins is something that this election will tell us. And if Bihar really has any place for a third front like Prashant Kishore or any other factor, because this has always been a bipolar state, that also remains to be seen.
Indeed. Also interesting to note that we had a message coming in ahead of the polls from the BJP in Bihar with the state unit chief saying no one will play a role of a big brother this time around.
That's right. The Bihar BJP chief making that important announcement there, making that important statement there. Well, remember, Parmeshwar, this has been a fiercely fought campaign. It started a few days ago with Congress Party's Vote Adhikar Yatra. Rahul Gandhi, he went to several districts of Bihar saying that there are several voter discrepancies which have to be addressed. And he said that there was a political conspiracy against the Mahagathbandhan. And after that, Tejasvi Yadav also undertook a separate yatra, which is separate from the Congress Party. So there have been those activities from the opposition side as well, with many saying that there hasn't been complete alignment when it comes to the JDU and BJP. They have been, announcing a lot of SOPs and welfare schemes for women, unemployed youth. 10,000 rupees as part of Mahila Rojgar Yojana was also announced by the Prime Minister recently. So clearly, that is something that will be watched very keenly, and will be, it'll be interesting to see how much the party, how much the NDA actually manages to optimize on the Modi-Nitish sentiment, which is seen as a winning factor in Bihar. But at the same time, last time it was a very close election in 2020. But in 24 Lok Sabha election, the JDU and BJP combination did much better than the opposition in other states. So there are quite, balancing points there. We'll have to wait and see how this election plays out and what announcement is made by the Election Commissioner of India today.
Indeed. As always, Vasudha, thank you so much for joining us with all the crucial details. Do stay on with us as I get in an update from our colleague Prabhakar, who joins us live from Patna at the moment. Prabhakar, you've been tracking reactions from the party offices as well. Take us through the mood on the ground ahead of this 4 p.m. announcement today.
See, if we talk about the voters, if we talk about the people who would actually be choosing their government, they are still concerned and worried about the basic issues in Bihar, which includes migration, job creation, and employment. And these are the issues which people want to hear from the leaders. But ironically, none of the factions, none of the leaders are talking about it. So they are trying to build a narrative around any other thing but the basic issues which concerns the voters. So if you talk about the leaders from both the factions, they would be talking about how abuse against mother is something which is an emotive issue for them. They were talking about who is the real Jan Nayak and all the other irrelevant issues which actually does not concern the voter on the ground. So the people, if you talk to the man on the ground, the person who would actually be casting his vote, their issues are completely different to what these leaders are talking about.
Right, that's actually unfortunate. Aishwarya, meanwhile, you have been tracking the latest in Delhi. We've been seeing announcements made, whether it was the Prime Minister, and also notably going about 7 to 8 times to Bihar. Women voters have also been a visible focus this time, whether it's welfare schemes, whether it's their safety. Just take us through women voters. How central is that demographic to both the camps' messaging before we delve deeper into other aspects?
We are going to win the election. All the best.
Well, many in the Bharatiya Janata Party have stated that it would be a game changer as far as the Mahila Rojgar Yojana is concerned, and the initiatives that have taken place. Ajay Alok of the Bharatiya Janata Party, who hails from the state of Bihar, is also with me. How it is going to be a game changer as far as the initiatives that your government in Bihar has launched specifically to the women centric. There has been 10,000 rupees that also being recently announced. And how are you looking at these elections?
Look, first of all, we are not alien or foreigners to Bihar.
It's our homeland. मातृभूमि है हमारी. हम कहते हैं नमस्ते सदा वत्सले मातृभूमि. So what we are doing, we are not doing for anyone. We are doing for ourselves. There are people. I am Bihari. The government is Bihari, and we are full dedicated for the cause of being Bihari and for the cause of state of Bihar. And in the national perspective, for the cause of our motherland, India. So it's nothing new. The government is doing what government is supposed to do. And that's why people of Bihar and people of this country repose faith again and again in India.
Under, there has been many, things that had been said before the elections, who is going to lead it, whether there would be, some sort of a big brother or a younger brother kind of scenario that can happen in Bihar. Now today at 4 p.m. the election.
Big brother is already out in the family. He's traveling in the streets. That's what big brother goes like, So there is no big brother or younger brother.
How you are reacting to the comments that have been made just now. Samrat Chaudhary, after the announcement, has stated that it is going to be Bharatiya Janata Party. Nitish Kumar would be the chief minister, and that has already been announced. The opposition has made several remarks in the past about Nitish Kumar's health as well. How do you?
So many times we have said this. Again and again, you guys keep on asking the same question at the behest of opposition. There is no confusion in India at all. I told you what happens to the elder brother. Elder brother is out in streets. No one is asking him. The family has renounced him. So there's no concept of elder brother, younger brother, or intermediate brother, whatever like that. It's a family. India is a united family, and we are going to contest all the seats, and we are going to win 225 in 2025.
Congress party is also calling Rahul Gandhi as a Jannayak.
Congress to thi. Ek thi Congress. Bihar mein established. Ek thi Congress.
What is going to be the final outcome? Your, perspective as far as the results are.
NDA is going to be 225 in 2025.
So that was Ajay Alok of the Bharatiya Janata Party, who also hails from the state of Bihar. Very confident, nobody is big brother in the state of Bihar. According to him, everyone will fight as a family in the state of Bihar, and it is Nitish Kumar who would be leading the entire charge.
As always, Aishwarya, thank you so much for joining us with the latest details. Prabhakar still with us. Prabhakar, we were initially discussing issues that matter to the voter. Caste identity, meanwhile, remains a defining factor in Bihar's politics. But has the voter mood shifted towards governance and jobs? Or are these social equations still a dominating factor? What's your assessment, since you've been tracking all the latest developments on the ground?
So unfortunately, that still remains the reality. When you talk to the people, they certainly talk about the developmental issues. They want roads, they want electricity, they want job creation here, they want a stop on the migration. But when they actually go to the polling station to cast their vote, so it's a very famous, very old saying out here. They said that you don't cast your vote, you vote your caste. So basically, when the final decision is made actually to which button to press, then certainly the caste factor comes into play. So that's a harsh reality of this Hindi heartland, and that is the reason why most of the political parties, while deciding their candidates, they keep this factor in mind. So even if you are a very committed ground worker from any political faction, it is your caste actually which would make you a leader, or kind of fetch you a ticket, or make you grow up in the ladder in your own party. So that still remains a reality, whether we like it or not.
Meanwhile, the opposition, as we know, has raised questions about 3.6 lakh voter deletions, over 21 lakh new additions. Are voters, though, themselves aware of this issue on the ground, Prabhakar? Have you met people who've discovered their names missing?
So we have been very extensively covering this SIR issue since this entire exercise started, and especially after the opposition started making a hue and cry on this. And we saw how Rahul Gandhi actually toured Bihar for 15 long days. He kept on conducting public rallies, meeting people, trying to make his point through that it's basically the deletion is targeted towards a certain section, certain community, certain caste, certain religion. But when you talk to the people on the ground, actually, we certainly did met a few people whose names were deleted. But you have to appreciate the fact that it's not an emotive issue. So if you deprive somebody from a ration card or from his health card or something like that, which actually personally concerns him, then they get emotional about it. But if somebody's name is being deleted and he will not be able to cast his vote, he doesn't get emotional about it. So they did pick up an issue. The opposition did pick up an issue, but they picked up an issue which people were not emotionally connected with. So I mean, I fail to understand as to how much ripples it will create on the ground. Though the opposition did made a major campaign on this, and we are still seeing the opposition leaders talking about it and how the entire democracy is being hijacked. But whether people emotionally connect with it, whether those whose names have been deleted are kind of crying out on the streets and kind of trying to defend their right as a citizen to cast their vote, no, they are not doing so. So I believe personally that opposition picked up a wrong issue. They should have stick to the basic issues in a state like Bihar, like empowerment, like women empowerment, like migration, like job creation and other things.
Right. We'll come to women empowerment in just a moment. I just want to focus on the Election Commission here, Prabhakar. The EC has been under pressure to prove its independence, also its transparency. How significant is today's announcement then for restoring public confidence in electoral institutions?
Since this entire SIR controversy started, the Election Commission was under question, and opposition actually did not mince words when they were attacking Election Commission. They went on to add that Election Commission was an extended part of BJP. They were acting at the behest of BJP and what not. All kinds of allegations were made against Election Commission. When the entire team of Election Commission was in Patna yesterday and we were there at this particular press conference, this particular question was raised.
Right. I'm really sorry, Prabhakar, I'm interrupting you. Giriraj is currently addressing the media listening.
देश चलता है कानून से और वैसी डराने की कोशिश ना करें, यही मैं उनसे कहूँगा।
कल तेजस्वी यादव कह रहे हैं कि सत्ता बदलने वाली है बिहार में।
मुंगेरी लाल के हसीन सपने देखने में तेजस्वी जी को कौन रोकेगा?
Right, Prabhakar is still with us at the moment, joining us live with all the latest updates from Patna. Prabhakar, just reverting to the role of the EC and the call for a 1 or 2 phase poll. Is that reflecting genuine logistical concern or political calculation about campaign momentum?
So it would be more of a logistical concern, I would say, because as we have been talking, it's a festival month. So right from Diwali, the most important festival of Bihar, Chhath, would happen. So our sources in the political fraternity are confirming to us that because most of the political parties also actually press for a 2-phase election, barring BJP and JDU. The BJP and JDU wanted a 1-phase election, whereas the entire opposition wanted a 2-phase election. And logistically speaking, it is convenient for the Election Commissioner to conduct a 2-phase election because many of the areas in Bihar, as we speak, are under flood. So we have been witnessing rain for last 4 to 5 days. Many of the areas are completely underwater, so that would be a logistic challenge also for the Election Commission to conduct election over there. The 2-phase election actually gives them ample time and time for the movement of the logistics. So that is what logically fits in here, that there is a strong possibility that Bihar would have a 2-phase election. Last time it was a 3-phase election which Bihar witnessed, but there is a history to it because of the violence which Bihar has been witnessing during the poll. But now that's a thing of past. So when there's hardly any violence on the polling day, which Bihar was infamous for. So for the logistic reason, Bihar might actually have a 2-phase election this time. Yeah.
Right. And as we were discussing regarding women and women empowerment, both the NDA as well as the opposition, they have pitched themselves as champions of women empowerment. But Prabhakar, tell us, what does the data say about how women have actually voted in Bihar over the last few years?
See, they have been seen, women as a voter, as a constituency has been seen in last 20 years sticking and backing up Nitish Kumar because of the kind of schemes he has launched for them, because the kind of scheme which is woman-centric scheme. So you start talking about it right from the cycle, the bicycle which is given to the girls, students all across Bihar, and you go to a rural place, any rural village, and you will see the girls there, the school-going girls actually cycling their way to home, back home and to the school. So that was the first sign of women empowerment, the first scheme which Nitish Kumar started in Bihar, and he is applauded for it across the country. Now, talking about the recent schemes, the 10,000 rupees, as we speak today, before the code of conduct will come into place, 21 lakh women would get 10,000 rupees each in their bank accounts. That's called Mukhyamantri Mahila Rozgar Yojana. So, including the today's number, it would be 1,21 lakh women getting 10,000 each into their bank account for job creation, for kind of starting their own enterprise. So that's a big scheme, and it involves huge money. Then also the other schemes which involve right from the Anganwadi to Jivika, the loan under the Jivika. Jivika is a very interesting concept which the Bihar government believes that it's a completely woman-centric scheme, and Bihar government believes that it's the major, it's an engine for the woman empowerment in Bihar. So Jivika basically is a self-help group of the government, run by the Bihar government, which actually empowers rural women into job creation, into starting their own enterprise, and kind of trying to create their own income apart from what their husbands or the other family members earn. And that has been quite a successful experiment, the Jivika, and we have seen Prime Minister Narendra Modi also applauding about it, praising this entire initiative. So as of now, there have been promises made by the opposition parties, including Tejasvi Yadav, about women. So both the factions are trying to woo women. But as far as the NDA is concerned, they have the advantage of being in power. So the other faction is actually making a promise. And here is a political faction, which is the NDA, which is actually implementing it. So they have already transferred the money, the huge sum, 15,000 crore rupees transferred to 1 crore 21 lakh women, 10,000 each into their accounts. So that makes a big difference.